There has been a lot of discussion and debate about the role of CFO. You must have heard about the evolving role of CFO, the emerging role of CFO. CFO is a catalyst, CFO is a strategist, CFO is a navigator, CFO is a steward. We have been hearing these phrases to describe the role of CFO for more than 20 years. But in reality, if you look around, it's difficult to find one common universal model to describe the role of CFO. Largely, it varies from company to company, place to place, industry to industry, and depends upon the culture of the organization, the expectation of the stakeholders like CEO and the board, and the personality of the CFO itself. I explain the role of CFO through a simple analogy. Let's take the example of a high performance car and take the high performance car and the high performance business. Now, before you start a journey in a high performance car, you have to ensure that the functionality of the car is in order. Engine is working fine, brakes are good, battery is in good order, tires are properly inflated, there is enough fuel in the tank. Once you ensure all these things, you start the journey. Similarly, in business environment for a high performance organization, you need to ensure that the structure of the organization is in place, processes are in order, and this is usually done by some back-end departments like production, planning, quality, engineering, supply chain, etc. They ensure that all the structure and the processes are in place before you start your journey in a business environment. As soon as the journey starts, there are three critical roles which come into the play, front-end roles. Number one is, of course, the CEO. CEO is sitting in the driving seat and steering the car in a certain direction. Second important role is from the sales and marketing. They are totally focused on running the car at a good speed. So they are focused on accelerator or the gas pedal. Third critical role is from the CFO, who is sitting next to the CEO in a passenger seat. There are two roles from the CFOs. The first role of the CFO is the custodian of the control and compliance in the organization. In other words, he's the custodian of the brakes in the car. Now, why do you have brakes in the car? Many people would say to stop the car. That's a wrong mindset. You have brakes in the car so that you could run the car faster. That's exactly the reason you have control and compliance in the organization. That's CFO's role to ensure that there is a structure of controls and compliance. The second important role from the CFO is of a navigator. While the CEO knows the destination, where is he driving to, it is the role of the CFO as a navigator to guide him from street to street. If you're driving a car, why would you depend on a GPS? Two conditions. Number one, you will ensure that GPS is of a good quality, good brand, good reputation, so it doesn't fail while you're driving. Number two, GPS has updated maps. So things are changing very fast. You need to ensure that GPS has updated maps so you don't get lost. Similarly, in a business organization, why the CEO would depend on the CFO to be a navigator or a GPS? Two conditions again. Number one, a GPS or the CFO is of a good brand, good reputation, good character, so he could trust him. Number two, the CFO also has updated maps. In this case, the updated maps are the updated knowledge of the CFO about the business, especially the value creation process in the business model. If he has two conditions, CFO could rely. Today, we are living in a VUCA world. Reality, uncertainty, chaos, ambiguity is the norm. Before we get out of one crisis, another crisis is waiting for us. Crises are no more accidental. Crisis could be anticipated. If crisis could be anticipated, then we need to prepare for the crisis. And the best time to prepare for the crisis is while you have good times. And it is mainly the CFO focus, while the whole organization in good times enjoying the growth in sales, the big margins, the lavish expenditure. CFO need to focus on strengthening the balance sheet by making the right investment. When you hit the crisis, usually you are in a survival mode. The most important thing during the crisis you need to focus as a CFO is the liquidity management. When you have extended crisis, there is not much you could do about the revenue management. It's entirely required the internal focus, looking inside the organization and see what you can do. To manage your liquidity, you need to ensure that the spending or outflow of cash is really controlled. So a relook and reevaluation of the investment is definitely crucial. But more important is really the cost reduction or expense control, which is very important. Crisis leads to opportunity. So during the crisis time, people are in a survival mode, which means people are flexible. People are willing to change their behavior. People are willing to take things which ensure their survival. During the COVID-19, we have seen that almost across all the industries, the employees have accepted the salary reduction because they wanted to survive. During crisis, it's an opportunity for the CFO to look at not only reducing the cost, but changing the structure of the organization, make it more profitable. And once you achieve certain level of productivity, which is far easier during the crisis at the good time, that becomes the new base level for further improvement. Now, the third thing you could do during crisis is about business model innovation. And probably business model innovation has the most potential of improvement and turning around the business. Now, this is a newer area. So it's not very clear that besides CEO who will take responsibility for it. But I believe that CFOs, especially those who have been trained in strategy and they have been playing a effective role as a strategist, are fully equipped to take initiatives on the business model innovation. I'll give you two specific examples for that part. One is the Uber. So Uber business model originally is based on transporting the passengers. So there is a driver, there is a car, the vehicle available. Uber recently during this COVID-19 crisis tried to capitalize on the changes happening. The delivery business has come out as a new industry which is growing very well. And Uber tried to capitalize on the opportunity of food delivery business. So they introduced a new business called Uber Eats. Now, this is based on the availability of a driver in the vehicle, the already structure available, and they could easily extend and expand that business without spending a lot of money or resources. So that is doing very well. And Uber Eats is one of the main competitor, leading competitor, I would say, in this business. Second example I would like to share with you is from the Chipotle Mexican Grill. Now, this is a $7 billion business. And this is actually a restaurant business. And one of the businesses who were badly affected by COVID-19 is the restaurant business. Now, Chipotle, very early in the game, they realized that the food business is going to change, which means that there would not be much business for the in-house dining, but more business would be done through the online orders and delivery of the food. So they immediately, as soon as they noticed the crises are taking place, they immediately created a website called the Digital Kitchens, where you could go as a customer and place the full order without the intervention of any humans. And not only that, they also created, alongside the restaurant, they created drive-through lanes where you could drive through without getting out of your car. You could pick up your food from the restaurants. Now, in May 2020, Chipotle announced that they are going to hire additional 8,000 employees because that type of business required more employees. So they hired 8,000 employees to take care of that new line of business. In July of the same year, they announced they are going to hire another 10,000 employees to take care of that business. And with this lot of hiring, the cost did not increase much because this line of business was very profitable and they are still doing very well with a lot of growth in sales and higher profitability. So this is one example how bringing some tweaks into the business model. Now, they did not go out of their basic core business model. They are still in the same food business, but making some changes that significantly improve the profitability and results of the organization. Back to the role of CFO. In a nutshell, we can say that yes, the CFO role is of a catalyst, strategist, navigator, steward, and many more by the way. And it's only going to get more difficult, more challenging going forward. So if you're a CFO, the good news is that you can do it, provided you follow a recipe of success. The recipe of success is that as a CFO, you must ensure that you regularly update your maps, which means, again, updating yourself with the business, not only the financial things, but business, industry, technology, all those things which are required, number one. Number two, maintaining a good reputation and good brand and good character. So the CEO, not only CEO, but the whole organization can work with you comfortably. If you ensure these two conditions, you could be very successfully lead the entire organization. Even if you are not in the driving seat, you can lead the organization because as a CFO, you have more responsibility to keep the journey safe and smooth for everyone else. And this is the recipe of success for CFO.